Welcome to the Deep Dive. And buckle up today because we're diving into a broadcast that, well, it literally just went dark for nearly half an hour.
Yeah.
The story going around, a camel apparently munching a power cord. I mean, you really can't make this stuff up, can you?
Huh. No, you can't. And that bizarre start, it really just threw everything into, well, a bit of chaos, but also kind of highlighted how live WWE just rolls with the punches.
Exactly. That weird technical glitch moment just set a strange tone.
It really did. And it kicked off the WWE SmackDown show, June 27th, 2025, live from the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Right.
And this wasn't just, any old SmackDown. This was the big one, the go-home show, right before Night of Champions.
So super important.
Absolutely. Every single segment, every match, you could tell it was designed to ramp up the tension, build that excitement for the big event.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive then. We're going to unpack the biggest moments, maybe some surprising results, the key storyline beats from this specific SmackDown. And hopefully by the end, you'll have a really clear picture, kind of a shortcut, to what's coming at Night of Champions and, what it all means for WWE going forward.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's start right where things went sideways. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, they're making their entrances, starting a promo for the King of the Ring final, and poof.
Right.
Feed just cuts out, gone. For, what was it, a solid 25 to 30 minutes?
Yeah, it was a significant chunk of time. And, from a production view, that's a nightmare scenario for a live show this big.
Huge.
But what's really telling is how important they considered that segment. Because they actually retaped the whole thing later just for the USA Network feed.
Wow, okay. So they really needed that King of the Ring setup.
Definitely shows the weight they put on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, once the feed finally came back, the first match we saw was Jimmy Uso versus JC Mateo.
Yeah.
And Solo Sikoa was there, of course.
Right, lurking at ringside. And Jimmy lost, which naturally led to Solo trying to, pull him back into the fold, the whole family thing. But then, and this surprised me, out comes the U.S. champ, Jacob Fatu. Storms down. What was your immediate take on that? Was Fatu just saving Jimmy, or was he sending Solo a message, about his own spot?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Because that standoff between Fatu and Solo, and then later you had that pretty intense parking lot chat between Uso and Fatu.
Yeah, I saw that.
It feels like more than just a hint. It feels deliberate. WWE is actively planting seeds to maybe fracture the bloodline or at least complicate it.
A face turn for Jimmy, maybe. A split.
Could be. It definitely throws the power dynamic way off balance right before Night of Champions.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, who's really in charge? Who's loyal to whom?
Good point. Okay, so we navigated the blackout chaos and the bloodline intrigue. Let's shift focus a bit to the championships because this SmackDown had some big title implications.
Oh, yeah.
Starting with the WWE Women's U.S. title, we got a new champion. Giulia beat Zelina Vega. That ended Vega's, 63-day reign?
Yep, 63 days. But what really stood out, I thought, were those pre-match video promos. They showed such different mindsets.
How so?
Well, you had Giulia basically saying the championship was, just a stepping stone.
Right.
It was a means to get somewhere else.
Okay.
And then you contrast that with Zelina Vega, who was all fire, saying Giulia would have to, and I quote, pry the title from her dead hands.
Oh, wow. Intense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that classic wrestling story, right? The hungry up-and-comer versus the champion who really embodies the title's prestige. Made the match feel like more than just moves. It was about philosophy.
Right, a clash of what the belt means. And, okay, if Giulia winning showed new ambition, the next title match was just pure brutality.
Oh, you're talking Stratton versus Nia Jax, the last woman standing match.
Yes, for the WWE Women's Championship. This thing was basically a street fight. I mean, Jax slamming the steel steps into Stratton, and then that Samoan drop onto the commentary table, which, by the way, didn't break.
Yeah, that was brutal. And the table not breaking, that just, emphasized the impact even more, didn't it? Showed how tough they both are.
Totally, and they used chairs, kendo sticks. Stratton hit that massive power bomb off the second rope through a table.
It was nonstop punishment. But the real drama kicker, that was Naomi.
Oh, yeah. Miss Money in the Bank trying to cash in mid-match.
Right in the middle of the chaos.
And Stratton, being Tiffany Stratton, just turns it around, uses Naomi's own briefcase against Nia Jax, and then hits the prettiest moonsault ever, basically sandwiching Naomi with it. It was nuts.
Such a smart, opportunistic move from the champion.
And the finish. Stratton knocking Jax off the apron through two tables stacked outside. That sealed it. She retained.
Yep. Chaos, but she survived it.
Beyond just the violence, though, the way Stratton handled that surprise cash-in attempt from Naomi did that, like, cement her status as champ, even more than just beating Jax. And what does it mean for Naomi now?
That's a great point. I think it absolutely solidified Stratton's reign. Shows she can think on her feet under immense pressure. High-impact defense, check. Resourceful, check.
Right.
But maybe more importantly, it keeps Naomi and that Money in the Bank briefcase very dangerous. The threat is still totally alive.
Because the cash-in failed, but wasn't, like, wasted definitively.
Exactly. Stratton countered it, didn't stop it technically.
Yeah.
So Naomi still holds that power, that wild card status for Night of Champions or whenever she chooses. Adds a whole other layer. She has to be smarter next time.
Makes sense. Okay. Adds another dimension there. Moving on, the tag team division saw some serious action too. And tension.
Definitely heating up there.
First, we had that really exciting match, #DIY Gargano and Ciampa taking on Andrade and Rey Fenix.
Oh, that was great.
The crowd in Riyadh was so into it, chanting, "This is awesome." You could just feel that energy.
Yeah, there was a fantastic bout. High quality stuff. But you could see the physical cost too. Gargano looked like he got really beat up, took a couple of nasty bumps.
Yeah, he did.
And there was maybe some concern about Ciampa at the end. Possibly got hurt, which, given his history.
Always worrying with Ciampa's neck. Just a reminder of the risks.
For sure. And then speaking of tag teams, the actual WWE Tag Team Championship match. Street Profits versus the Wyatt Six. That ended in a no contest.
Right. Because why? Just utter chaos at ringside.
Total bedlam. You had Los Garza jump in, then Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium, even #DIY got involved again.
Everyone.
And then you had Eric Rowan and Uncle Howdy interfering too. It was just a massive pileup.
So what does that mean for the division? Just that it's overcrowded?
It highlights how incredibly crowded and volatile the whole tag scene is. It's not just about one challenger anymore.
Right.
It's this big, messy battleground.
Right.
Sets up a really unpredictable situation for the titles. Suggests maybe clean finishes are going to be rare for a while.
Yeah.
Makes holding those belts feel really precarious.
Yeah, good point. And the tension wasn't just in the tag ranks either. We got that really weird backstage thing with Aleister Black and R-Truth.
Oh, yeah, that was interesting.
R-Truth just bursts in, looking for John Cena as he does.
Classic Truth.
And Black just shuts down Nick Aldis. The GM just silences him. That was a power move.
It really was. And then later, in the ring, Black attacks R-Truth with the Black Mass.
Vicious kick.
And he says that line, in a weird way, they're even. What do you make of that? Like, there's some history there we don't know.
It definitely implies some kind of past issue, right? A score settled, in Black's mind anyway.
Seems like it. And then you had Damian Priest and Carmelo Hayes getting involved afterwards.
Right.
It just adds more layers. Suggests this isn't just going to be Black versus Truth. Maybe there are factions involved, other dynamics. It's brewing.
Intriguing. We also saw the Queen of the Ring finalists, Jade Cargill and Asuka, briefly. They were in the ring with Wade Barrett.
Yep, quick segment.
And guess who popped up again? Naomi, still flashing that Money in the Bank briefcase, talking about her power, threatening the winner of Stratton and Jax.
She's making sure everyone remembers she holds that wild card, keeping the pressure on.
Yeah, she definitely believes she's got all the leverage right now. And maybe she does.
We'll see.
Okay, so the main event segment, the one everyone was waiting for, the big face-off. John Cena, CM Punk, building up their undisputed WWE Championship match at Night of Champions. You expected fireworks, but maybe not. This kind
No, nobody saw this coming. Punk walking out.
Yeah.
Wearing John Cena's old school basic Thugonomics gear.
The whole 9 yards, the chain, the sideways bull's cap, the jorts, even the drug-free knuckles.
It was such a direct theatrical stab at Cena's past.
Yep.
Right off the bat, just designed to get under his skin.
And he didn't just wear the costume, right? He launched into this rhyming rap roast.
Oh, yeah. A full-on rap roast, and it was sharp.
Merciless. He hit Cena with everything, burying more talent than The Undertaker.
Called out the bald spot.
Mocked his wrestling style, called him, what was it, like a Timu Macklemore with less rhythm?
Yeah. And a whiter Hulk Hogan and more problematic.
Oof. He even threw in shots about James Gunn's underwear and the Marine. It was brutal. How did the crowd even react to that level of personal attack?
Well, it was interesting because, there was that history with Punk's 2019 tweet about Saudi Arabia. So the reaction started kind of mixed, polarized.
I didn't remember that.
But Punk had apologized earlier that day. And honestly, the performance itself, The sheer audacity and how well he delivered it. You started hearing it shift.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, the crowd was loudly chanting CM Punk. It was just a masterclass in controlling a room, winning over skeptics with pure charisma, and just nailing the narrative.
Incredible. And then the exit.
The perfect punctuation mark. He finishes the roast, drops the mic figuratively, and as Cena's music hits, Punk just walks out, leaving Cena standing there looking just shocked, disgusted.
It completely flipped the script.
Totally. It shifted the whole feel of their Night of Champions match. Made it intensely personal, really charged, left you desperate to see what happens next.
Yeah, that segment alone really set the final tone, didn't it? Less about the title, more about pure hatred now.
100%. All driven by Punk's incredible character work.
So looking back, this SmackDown really delivered as that go-home show. It absolutely cranked up the heat on so many fronts.
For sure.
You had the Bloodline drama, those seeds of a split getting watered. You had the hashtag DIY rivalry simmering within that bigger tag team mess.
Right.
And that new Black Killings thing starting up. It felt like every part of the show pushed something forward.
Absolutely. And obviously, it locked in those title matches with huge stakes, especially Cena and Punk. That feud feels nuclear now, heading into Night of Champions.
Yeah.
So hopefully this deep dive gives you, the listener, not just the what happened, but the why it matters.
Yeah.
Gives you that full picture without, being totally swamped.
Exactly. We try to connect the dots for you. And as we wrap up, here's something to chew on, a final thought. How much of a wrestling match, really, is decided before the bell even rings? How much is the physical fight versus just the sheer power of character of telling the perfect story?
That's a deep one.
Because when you see someone like CM Punk, with one segment, one promo, completely dictate the terms of a main event title match and flip a live crowd like that, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much power does that mic really hold over what happens in the ring?